What's going on, my people? you know, there is a subject that I wanted to talk about, though, and there was just something that I was thinking about, and I just don't understand. You know, why is it that in life, most people don't really accept the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it's like what I've come to find out over the years is that a lot of people who don't live in truth, they kind of expect you to be the same way. And sometimes in life, you might have family or whatnot. Uh, you might have family or whatnot, and then sometimes, uh, they, it's like in order to get along with them, it's like you have to live a lie that they keeping up in order to keep peace between you and them. And it's unfortunately even with the situation that I'm dealing with, it's unfortunate, but a lot of my younger years and even some of my adult life, I was at a situation where I wasn't really dealing with stuff, you know what I mean, like I should have. And the thing was, it was like um, I should have been. It was some situations that I knew the truth about, especially when it comes to my like family and family members and stuff like that. And it's like for some reason I couldn't never really speak on it, certain things, because it was like I was more worried about, like, sometimes in life when when you dealing with people, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of this hurt come from stuff that's right within your house. And you know some things you can't really speak on, because it's like if you do, then it's like you kind of become like an outcast. And it's unfortunate. I kind of been dealing with a situation like that for a long time. You know, I gotta be honest. I didn't have. Most people have a life where they can talk about this and talk about that, and a lot of people, you know, we grow up in houses where the father and the mother is separate. And, most kids grow up to hate their father because really that's how the mama feel about them or whatnot. And a lot of people have these good stories about, they mama this, they mama that. And, I just gotta be honest. See, I'm not scripted. I'm not scripted. I don't just make up stuff. That's why you don't see me reading nothing. But I gotta be honest. I don't have a good story when it comes down to uh, being raised by my mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a good story to reflect on. You know what I mean? I just thank God that He gave me the strength, you know what I'm saying, to make it this far and to be able to achieve and accomplish what I have. And for a long time in my life, I lived this life where, okay, I felt like that, I learned, I was taught how to lie. And I didn't know what the stuff meant, you know what I mean? Because when you a kid and you parents, you teach your kids how to lie. A lot of times these kids lie because they feel like, okay, well, my mom is gonna love me more. My mama gonna be on my side if I lie. If I just do what she say and I win her over, this is gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? And most people, a lot of kids grow up like this, and they really don't realize um what's going on in their life. They really don't realize this, and it's unfortunately, I kind of grew up like that. I don't have good stories to tell. We was kids that was in the system. Me and my brother and sisters, we was kids that was in the system typically. And I love my mama to death, but the truth is I just didn't have a good upbringing. I was brought up by a person who didn't really have no love really for anybody, kinda. You know what I mean? A person that do serious stuff and make everybody else the problem. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but I grew up in a way where, when you see that for so long, you know what I mean, you kind of get taught that that's the way to deal with stuff. And it was only until like I got into my older age, in my 30s, I'm 38 right now. But it took me to really get into my 30s to realize, hey, this stuff wrong. You know what I mean? I've been going along with stuff, and like people life done got worse. And it's like, man, I never, I got to a point in my life where I just couldn't live like that, man. And you know, my sister, you know, my sister right now, you know, she was she wasn't treating her kids right and things like that. And some serious situations went down. And she ended up getting sent to prison. You know what I mean? Here just this year. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been on my mind a lot. And the reason why it's been on my mind a lot is because pretty much what she went to jail for, it was the same thing that my mom did to us. And it and and it was hurting me inside because I felt like, well, dang, even though this is an unfortunate situation, it's like, dang, you know, this is really all she knew to do because this is what happened to us. We was taught to raise our kids like our mama raised us. And she did what my mom did. And and when my sister got caught up with this, I tried talking to her. Now somebody say, "Why you talk?" Well, I know it ain't nobody business, but I'm talking about truth here because a lot of people dealing with stuff like this too. But when my sister got caught up and got sent to prison, my mama said she getting what she deserved. And man, that rubbed me wrong because I'm like, man, how can you say that my sister getting what she deserved and you did this to us and you didn't go to jail? It's like now because God blessed me and people look at me and they see all these good things. You see studio, you see all this. It looked like I was raised right. You understand what I'm saying? It looked like my mama did her job. She didn't though. And that's the hardest part. It's the hardest part to be able to come on, and it's the hardest part to be able to say, Mama, you was foul. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing to say because a lot of people, a lot of people deal with that. And because you raised by your mama, a single mother, you know what I mean? You don't really have the courage to be like, man, mama, you was wrong. And I never had the courage to say that until like recently because it was like something just struck me. And right now, you know what I mean, me and my mom, we not I'm I'm speaking to her, but she not on speaking terms with me. I've been trying to message her and call her, she won't answer because she was upset because I told the truth. And I love my mama, but the thing was this. The thing was this. You know, we got an expiration date. We all gonna die at some point. And the problem is we gotta start learning how to get stuff right. It's not about the money, the cars, the clothes, the houses and material stuff. We gotta get stuff right with people. And we talking about within truth. Talking about living in truth here. You know what I mean? People go on over time and time and time again, living a lie. You know what I mean? Not even facing the truth, you know what I'm saying? It's just they living a lie and it's like how long this gonna go on? How many people lives have to be destroyed? What else has to happen for you to see that, you know, this has to stop? And that's where I have been in my journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like I've dealt with so much stuff to the point where I was like, okay, enough is enough. And don't you know when I started telling the truth about stuff, don't you know that man, the people that said they loved me, the people who he and ha ha and smiling in my face, don't you know most of them done turned their back on me now? I'm talking about something real. I've had good friends. I've had family, my mama, my sister and brother. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I've had situations where they turn their back when you start really living in truth. And the point that I'm making about this video is like, you know, when you tell the truth is going to separate you. When you start telling the truth is going to separate you from everybody who ain't living in it. Everybody who ain't living in truth is going to separate you from them when you start living it. And most people are not living in truth. Most of them. You want to know let me tell you something. When you come across somebody who not living in truth, this is how you know they not living in truth. When you tell the truth and then they become offended, they don't want nothing else to do with you. That's because it's not necessarily you, it's the truth in you. It's the spirit of truth in you that offends that ungodliness, that untruthfulness in them. The two spirits don't collide. The two spirits don't collide. So when you tell the truth versus somebody who want to live a lie, it's like a wreck. You know what I'm saying? And that's what done happened a lot in my life. You know what I'm saying? I done ran into a wreck, but I'm okay. It's just most of the people that they don't want to live in truth. So it's like now I'm the problem. You know what I mean? No matter who has got offended by what I've said about them, none of them can come to you and tell you. None of them can say that I lied on them. None of them can say that I lied. They just don't like that I said it. But I'm not going to accept a lie and live a lie because you want to still live that way. No, because what you got to realize is this: there's two categories in life. When you live in truth, there's a different path. That's the path that God has set for you. But when you live a lie, you walking along a path that's set up for all type of bumps and failures. And that path lead to destruction. I'm not saying that even when you live in the truth that you're not gonna go through nothing, but the thing is, your path gonna keep going. When you live a lie, it's gonna come to an end at some point. And what I don't like is when it do come to an end, you know what people do? They try to make it your responsibility to fix what they did wrong. You know what I'm saying? When all along, when they had the opportunity, they didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's just crazy. But, you know, why is it that the truth is so hard to accept? You know, even in relationships, people say they gonna be down with you no matter what. They saying that because it's good right now. A lot of them saying that because good things are happening right now. They don't actually anticipate. They don't actually anticipate that it's actually gonna get bad. They don't actually think that one point of time, oh man, this gonna get rough. I mean, they say that. Even when people get married and they do their vows, they say, for better or for worse, for rich or poor, or this and that. They say that and all that in the beginning because they happy when they saying it. You know what I mean? But when it really come down to some hard times, shoot, they ain't with you. But they said they would. But see, the truth come in our life really to help us, because a lot of times what you think you have in your life, you really don't have. What you think you have in your life, how you think the people are, they really not that way. But you not gonna find out until you start living in truth. When you start living in truth, you'll begin to see who they really are. And it's just unfortunate that we all deal with these type of things in our life, and everybody got a different story. But for me, this is the way I had to hear. Some people be like, man, why you go on hey, listen, man, hey, to each his own. I don't ask nobody to do what I do, but I'm better. You understand what I'm saying? Like, God bless me. This is therapy for me. And it's a lot of people going through pretty much the same thing. And this is therapy for me. You have to talk about what goes on in life and with people and with different things, because, you know, we all deal with a lot of stuff. And really, to resolve a lot of it, it really come down to living in truth. Even if your situation bad, and even if you bad and you wrong, if you honest about it, you putting yourself in a position where things can get better. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you start being honest about stuff, whatever was supposed to happen begin to happen. Listen, let me tell you something. If you in a relationship and you lie to get them, if you lie to them to get them to stay in your life, what you don't realize is this: you placing somebody in your life that really wasn't supposed to be there. You placing somebody in your life that really wasn't supposed to be there. Because the thing is, had you told the truth, they wouldn't have accepted you. And then the one who would have accepted you for the truth was the one you were supposed to be with. Man, listen, I've I've told the truth with people before and they walked out, and sometimes it hurt because you be like, dang, you think people really accept you for you, but most don't. Most don't. And sometimes the ones who do accept you for that, they're not the ones. Sometimes they're the ones that you're looking over. You know what I mean? And it's just so crazy how the truth works. And that's one of the reasons why I stand on truth. I'm not saying I'm not the truth. No, I'm not the truth. But I'll tell the truth. And you know what? Let me tell you something. When you hear the truth, let me tell you what the truth sounds like. I want you to really get this one. A lot of times when you're going through that hurt that you're going through, you really facing the truth. A lot of times when you happy, it's because you ain't accepting reality. Most of the time, happiness comes from a false pretense, meaning whatever you happy about is temporarily. Most of the time, it's a false pretense. You want to be happy because you don't want to tell yourself, hey, I might have to do this later on. You know what I mean? I might have to do this later on. And in a relationship, man, listen, hard times gonna come. And listen, it ain't gonna always go your way. Things gonna happen that you can't control. And just because people make bad choices, it don't mean that they don't care. Because the devil is out to steal, kill, and destroy. And whatever way he have to do it, that's the way he gonna do it. He'll use your kids, your siblings, your mother, your father, your grandmother, whoever, your aunt, uncle, whoever he have to use that means something to you is what the devil will go for to get you to get off the path of God. And God is truth. And let me tell you something, when you live in truth, you live in your purpose. Most people compromise their integrity to be happy. When you compromise your integrity, a part of you lying. A part of you is lying. Because had you told the truth, you may not have gotten the results you was looking for. But that's the thing. What living in truth, God have the right thing for you along that path of truth. The problem is most people lie because they want to make their own path. But God didn't make you for that. God didn't make you for that. God made you and he got his own path for you. And it take you to live in truth to get that. Listen, I mean, I got a studio and all this stuff that I'm doing, and I thank God for it. But it wasn't necessarily nothing I did. It's I started living in truth, and this was along the path of that. So it's the same thing with you. Right now, if you lying about anything in your life, let me tell you something. Whatever it is you lying about, that really wasn't supposed to be there. It really ain't supposed to be there. If you lying to your woman, she probably ain't supposed to be there. She probably ain't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? So living in truth is so important. I should have put my phone on vibrate. But Living in truth is so important. The truth, let me tell you something. When you hear the truth, let me tell you this. When you hear the truth, it's going to hurt sometimes. It's going to hurt. The truth going to hurt. Most people don't want to be hurt, so they would rather accept the lie over truth. You know what I'm saying? But the truth going to hurt. The truth hurt. You know what, man? And the crazy part is, the reason why it hurt, because it's damaging the spirit that ain't you know what? If you really want to be truthful about this, the reason why the truth hurts sometimes is because it's quenching the evil spirit that's within you. The truth hurt because the evil spirit has been acknowledged in you. The Bible says, resist the devil and he'll flee. When you live in truth and when you accept the truth, you acknowledge the enemy within. So the enemy have to leave. You resisting the devil when you accept the truth, because the devil is a liar. So when you believe in lies, when you living amongst a lie, that's the devil. Had you lived in truth, you would have been where you were supposed to be. But let me tell you something. Can I help you real quick? Can I help you real quick? The truth feels good. This is what I'm going to say. A lie feels good. The truth hurt, but the lie feels good to the flesh. And that's the reason why people choose it over the truth. When you live in a lie, man, it feel like you got it going on. Everybody seem like they love you, they with you, they down with you. Seem like you got all the good stuff. But your path is leading to destruction. When you do hit destruction, because I've done it, when you do hit a brick wall and destruction comes, none of the people that you was enjoying yourself with, none of them gonna help you. They all gonna scatter. And it's gonna be you and God alone. And guess what? You gotta live in truth to get back on your feet again. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live in truth to get back on your feet. And when you get back on your feet, the devil gonna come back with them lies. And them lies look good. Them lies feel good. You know what I mean? Because that's what the flesh enjoys that. So bringing your flesh to under subjection is living in truth. You gonna be tempted. The Bible said you will be tempted. So I don't want people to think that when you choose the truth, nothing ain't gonna happen. No, that's when it starts to happen. Because when you start living in truth, you are walking away from the devil. So the devil have to use what he know you like to turn your back on God. So the truth, it hurts sometimes, but the truth is the life of a success. The devil gonna bring you the lie, and the lie gonna feel good to the flesh, and it's gonna make you turn your back on God. I've done it, and you have too. You know what I mean? But we have to know these things, and we have to acknowledge these things so we can learn how to stay on the path of truth. And staying on the path of truth does not mean that you're not going to make mistakes. You are going to make mistakes, but you have to come to the point to realize and acknowledge that you made a mistake and step up. And let me tell you something, when you are living a life like that, when you are living a life of truth, it's going to be a lonely path. I don't have a whole lot of friends right now because I won't lie for them. I won't pretend like they something they not. and people won't accept you for that. But the ones that really rock with you, they gonna accept you for the truth. And I thank God for that. I thank God for the real ones in my life that accept me for the truth. Because there's some people that call me a lot, and that's what they want to hear. And look at what God doing in my life, and look at what God doing in their life. And God got the same thing for you. But it's gonna take you to get to that point to admit. Listen, don't feel bad if you gotta admit some horrible things. You understand what I'm saying? Because no matter what people look at you like, God can do more for you than anybody can. You know, I didn't look like nothing. I may not still look like nothing to a lot of people. But one thing that I do know, nobody that dislike me for the truth is doing better. And I'm not saying that I'm on a high heel. No, because I'm just a man. I'm just a regular man like anybody else. But nobody that hate me for the truth, God still allowed me to go right on. As you can see, ain't nothing gonna be stopped in your life. And you gotta accept that. God got a good path. God got the right path for you, and you got to walk along that. And you got to realize that this is what God got for you. So, nevertheless, I was just saying, you know, the truth. My topic was talking about the truth, and the truth um, is it's a funny thing. And let me tell you something. Um, when people, if people always telling you what you want to hear and giving you everything you want, there's something wrong going on that you don't see, because life is not that way. You don't always get what you want. You don't always get the answers. I see people all the time talking about, oh, get me away from the negativity. Stay away from them people that say that. This is why I say this. Because, see, some things are negative and some things gonna be bad. And a lot of things that are negative and bad, those are things that God put in the path for us to learn from. And a lot of times when you think it's negative, it's really the truth, and they don't want to accept it. So they stay away, calling it negativity as reverse psychology, because they don't want to live in truth. Man, if somebody's saying something, and if somebody say something and it's the truth, it's not negativity. It's you not living in truth. That's what it is. So that's all I'm saying. And I've dealt with it a lot. You know, at the end of the day, me personally, I've made some people mad, friends, loved ones. I've made people mad, but at the end of the day, it might be years later now, they gonna come back and be like, you know what, he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. And I found that out the hard way myself. It was people telling me stuff all along. Then later on in life, I'd be like, dang, they was trying to tell me all along. But you know what I'm saying? But that's just how life go. But I just want to say that, you know, it's hard sometimes living in truth. But listen, when you living in truth, listen, listen, this is the hardest part about living in truth. Because I'm telling y'all this like it's easy. No, it's not easy. Because most around you not living in truth. It's not easy. So this is the hardest part about it, because you might lose something you actually like. When you living in truth, when you start operating in truth, you might lose something that means something to you. But you're gonna gain more than what you lost. I'm telling you from experience. So I just want to share that with you today. That's the topic that I was coming on here with. But I'm gonna have some. I'm getting it all together. It's coming together. I be working a lot still, so I don't have a lot of time sometimes to just come over into the studio. I'm a busy man, you know what I'm saying. But hey, I'm blessed. So I thank y'all for tuning in with me, and uh, you'll catch me again with another one. And God bless you. I hope this blessed you because it blessed me. As you can see, I didn't read anything. You understand what I'm saying? So if this touched you, this is something that just God poured into me. I mean, I ain't reading the script. I believe that if you really operating under the Spirit, you don't have to read it. God will pour off into you and give you what to say. And it's going to touch the heart. Because God know what you're going through. I don't. I don't know what nobody going through. You know what I mean? But God know what to give me to help the ones that's going through. So that's all I gotta say about that. God bless you all. And till next time.